Hi there. Hi again. Just in case you didn't catch it. Um, I'm Ravenhawk from fastworkinglovespells.com, and I just want to touch on a subject that's something I'm going through right now. And in case if anybody else is going through the same thing out there, contact me. If you've been through it and you have solutions, please contact me because I'm sort of at my wit's end right now. I'm being basically, I don't know if it's gang stalked or I know definitely I'm being cyber stalked, but it's a really bizarre situation, and I'm gonna lay it out to you for the best of my knowledge, because I'm a spellcaster. I'm a tarot reader. This is my line of work. I came to this country in 1999. I lived in Ohio, and I moved to California, and I've been there since 2001 until June of last year. I haven't left California. And my grandma, I'm from a country in the West Indies. My grandma had some very old stamps in a purse, very old stamps, like from the late 1800s, early 1900s. And she was a collector. I was the apple of her eye. She would have like my first haircut and like bits of the hair. She even had my umbilical cord. She had some old coins as well, and things that she kept. She had two purses. And the thing is, I left them when I came here. I didn't come with anything. I left them. I didn't, because where I'm from, we're hardworking people. We don't. I never had a computer there. Never had a cell phone, so I don't didn't know the value of these things, if it was valuable or not. Like an American would know this. I didn't. In fact, I didn't get my first cell phone, and it was my friend's cell phone. Until like 2001, 2000, 2001, 2002. Actually, no, it was 2000, around 2002, I got my first cell phone. And I came here, I worked my ass off by myself because I was estranged from my family. When I say estranged, I'm far away. I lost contact with my cousins because I was an only child. I lost contact with everybody. My grandfather he had the apartment that I left him in. We were sharing it together. He stayed, and he started migrating between that house, that apartment, and my cousin's house for them to take care of him. The stamps, the last I know, were left in my grandfather's house, the house that I left behind. This is when people are using drugs around me, I can feel it. It's in my left nostril right here. Just it's obviously somebody putting something up their nose. I don't know. So, it happens all the time. But here it goes again. And anyway, I know that sounds bizarre, but again, I'm an empath, very strong empath. I don't know why I draw this. I don't know. I just hate drugs. I hate them with a passion. Sorry for any drug users who are watching this, even recreational. This is not good. It feels like electric shocks just inside here, and I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I just can't stand it. It just drives me crazy. The fact that I know who is doing this, and I know that she's behind it. She is doing this on purpose because she thinks it's funny, or she gets a kick out of it. I know the person who's doing it. She thinks it's hilarious. It's like a parlor trick with her. It's like a parlor trick. And she has a kick-ass psychic ability. Excuse my language. Kick-ass psychic ability. unlike anything I've seen. I'm a tarot reader. I'm an empath. I guess how aggressive she is as a psychic. And I'm not endorsing her because by any means this is not a good person. See, you can be a powerful psychic, but your intention behind using your ability. You can drive a car to the store and buy your groceries and go home. You can also drive the car and run over somebody on the freeway and keep going. It's your intention. What was your intention? Or if you hit somebody, you can stop and help them, or you can just keep driving. What's your intention? I don't drive. I don't even know. I have a fear of driving. I've never ever driven, never had a driver's license. I don't even know how to turn the car on. That's how I don't know. It's very limiting, but I don't drive. And anyway, I came here and my life was going along. It was going along. I had ups, I had downs. In 2008, I became very, very depressed, really depressed. Spiritual side was one, but became very depressed to the point where I had a mouse for my laptop. I got a laptop in 2006, and I had the mouse, and it was a detachable mouse, so it was very heavy because it had batteries in it, and I used to hit myself over the head with it. Like there was this darkness around me. I think that's where I started to embrace my spirituality even more because I had to fight it with my own light. My own spirituality had to come alive. Prior to that, I have the gift, but I've been ignoring it because my great grandfather was a witch doctor, a very powerful one. And his grandkids, my cousins, are the same way. They don't practice what I do. They're extremely sensitive, very, very sensitive. Sounds like a family of empaths. The thing is, I got depressed. I just stopped working. As I mentioned in a previous video, was just going to go to work. I just sat at the BART station, train left, and I got up and I walked home. Like that was it. Stopped working. Couldn't do it anymore. That was how depressed I got. I actually, at that time, called the suicide hotline because I was not feeling well. Prior to this has never happened to me before. Not like never, ever happened to me before. Usually, I'm one of those people. If I'm down, my coworkers would say, "Oh, this isn't you. Something is wrong. This is not like you." I'm a very upbeat person. Always eager to help. Always eager to do something. You know. So it was noticeable. A lot of people must have thought I was using drugs. A lot of people must have thought I was using something was wrong with me, which I felt. I know the depression was there. I categorize it as depression because I became extremely negative. Like all the years of negativity piled into one. Everything came to a crescendo and just I just couldn't take it anymore. It's like somebody just pulled all the negative energy, channeled it, and just hit me over the head with it. And I had to fight my way through that. And it took me some years. Took me some years to do that because from 2008 I didn't really get out of it until 2013 or 2000. I started coming out of it in 2000, 2012 to 2013. 2014 I made my website, started putting it out there, started embracing my own spirituality, started helping people, and by helping people I started to help myself. I started to help myself. I started to get better because when I made people happy, made me happy. When people got their success, made me feel successful because it made me feel like I was like doing something. I was achieving something. I was making something happen in my life and in the world, and my brain was happy. I was a happy person. I am happy now too. I'm just telling you back then, transitioning from depression to feeling better. But the bizarre thing about this is I moved to a small town in California in 2016. That was when I was really coming out of the depression, January 2016. Like I said, 2014, 15, and then early 2016. And I lived in back of a yard. where there's a main house and two cottages in the back. I occupied one. I occupied the cottage in the back, and I was there for like a year and 3 months before somebody else moved in next door to the other cottage. Um, the girl that was there before, um, she moved out because she found another place that she wanted to live. She was gonna move in with somebody or something. So another girl moved in there, and later that same girl that moved out first, that I knew for since I moved in, because I knew her for a year and 3 months or 2 months, she moved back in the big house at some point. Um, this girl befriended me. Well, I befriended her. To be honest, I am gay, and I thought she was attractive. I never hit on her. I asked her out a few times. We hung out. We spent some time together, and this was back in 2017, the year that she moved in. And I never knew I could. I started to hear her voice though. I started to hear her. Like she would. I know when she would be coming. Like for example, she knew how I felt, and I know she knew how I felt because I could hear her when she's coming. That she's not gonna say anything. That she's not gonna say anything because she's afraid of rejection. That would be me. See, I'm auditory. I can say this without sounding bizarre because this is what I do. I'm auditory. I can help. I can hear, and I'm very, very empathic. And so I heard certain things, but I wasn't paying, I just figured, hey, because maybe she liked me too. Why else would I, she be thinking about that if she's not in my sight? So the thing is, um, that was going on for a while. And long story short, it's like I guess last year around March, everything got bonkers. Everything got bonkers. She started sitting around my house. Now she became very, very much drug using. The drug using was like all off the charts. And I think they knew how it was affecting me. And because they knew how it was affecting me, it wouldn't stop. It wouldn't stop. Now, in 2019, I reconnected with my family. I reconnected with my family, my father's brother in Canada. And they told me my father passed away in 2008, which is the year my depression started. And I was almost suicidal. The year my depression started. They told me my father passed away and they wanted some well, my father owned a big business, hardware store, had his own house. He sold the business. We had shares in the bank that I signed, the two of us, because it was just me and him. I'm the only heir he has. It's a third world country, but it's still valuable because it's a very successful business. That's one thing. My father is very productive, and it can be where I spoke to them. They said, I didn't even pursue anything. Well, I'm gonna go back and get a house and get a land and get this and get that and whatever. And it's like I didn't understand what the connection was with all of these things here, my stuff, my life, and these people next door, this woman and this man next door. Now I remembered, in back in 2001, I think it was 2001, I had went to this place called Food Max in California. I don't know if you have a Food Max around you, but I had left because you have to bag your own groceries. I paid, I put the wallet down, bagged my groceries, and I walked out. And I left my wallet, and the wallet was stolen by someone because the next day I saw these $1 charges. So I called and they said yes, they have the wallet. The police had the wallet. It's a police case. They caught the woman in Best Buy, I think. And I was more concerned because I came here. I had a temporary green card, I think, at the time. It was temporary, and that was my main concern, and my social security card. So, but they had all that in there, so I was so thankful. The credit cards were one, but I got my, my social was fine. Everything was in the wallet. So I'm like, oh, thank you. And I just went on my life. This was in 2001. My aunt told me now. Actually, it was just like about 3 weeks ago. She told me in 2004 when they went after my grandfather died, they went to clear out his house. Now, bearing in mind, I mentioned these stamps before. The house was ransacked, which was an apartment that I shared with my grandfather. It was ransacked. They said there was garbage, like garbage all over the place. I don't know where it would come from. And we have something called a wardrobe, not closet, not a built-in closet. It's a portable. It's heavy though, heavy duty, and it was broken into, and the stamps were there. Stamps were gone. That's what they said. They didn't find anything. All just an old cloth, dusty old cloth, moldy and just dusty and just I don't know some old cloth in the bottom of the shelf. White cloth. A cloth, she said, not a dress, just an old cloth. I'm not sure. Might have been an old sheet or something. And everything was gone. And they found a voodoo doll in my room. Now, at that time, I wasn't practicing. And in my country, I can guarantee you, we never use dolls. There's spiritual workers all over, but they have a different style. They don't use voodoo dolls. That I can sure. What are the odds? This woman has this psychic ability to do this, like very, very strong. And they would find this voodoo doll. And she mentioned, like, she's talking to me like all the time. It's not a voice I'm hearing, it's a live person, it's a back and forth conversation because I know it's her. I wasn't aware again that she had this ability. Now let's examine the facts and all the facts I laid out. She has a psychic ability that I know 100% sure. The second thing is they're hacking. I became aware last year in March of that I was being hacked extensively, and I became fearful for my business because I work online. They had a habit of just going on Google and clicking on my ads, and it's gone. So I became fearful. If I can't work, what am I going to do? I can't pay the rent, So then they would. I had like two phones. After I realized I was being hacked, I had another phone. That's one point I had three phones because I was trying to outsmart them. One day I bought a phone home from Cricket. Was looking at the phone. I made sure the Wi-Fi button was always off, and I was watching it. I was touching it with the other hand, and I watched the button turn itself on, almost like it's just like it's like another phone, and they can do when they do something on this phone, it affects this phone. I don't know if it's cell phone cloning. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I have no idea what that is. It's just like magic to me. That's like physical magic, David Blaine type magic. Because and one time I was on my bed, like leaning over my bed because my bed was high. I had both phones and I had the Android turned off completely. There's the drug use again. The Android completely turned off, um, completely turned off. Not just powered down, but it was turned off. And I'm on my iPhone, and a camera started blaring red, and she was sitting outside my house. Now I tried to catch her. Every time I go out, she's gone. Every time I go out, she's gone. I set a camera one time to face one side of the house, went around the other. There was no trace of her. At the same time, the other neighbors started noticing, like the guys, like it's a whole big charade happening. They suddenly went from being very quiet to being extremely noisy in a weird, bizarre way. In a weird and bizarre way, like a really unusual way. I don't know if that was to confuse people, and I realized I wasn't the only one. They were trying to confuse people, like I don't know. But the thing is, coincidence, it can't be after her sitting outside around my house for so long, and she did not stop with the drug use, affecting me all the time. My door used to always be open because I felt safe in the back. And this was before the year and 3 months that I lived before she came there. There was not. left open after she came. It was there all the time. And everybody knew in the yard because I felt safe. I felt safe. I felt safe in the back. There's one place I felt really safe, and that was the one place where I realized, at some point I realized was not safe at all. They had people like jumping over. My house was just like about 4 feet away from the zinc, 4 feet away from the fence, and people jumping over at night and all that stuff. Prior to March of last year, none of that happened because I lived there for a long time. Even if it did happen, I wasn't aware of it. But there's no way I can miss it though, because there's a whole bunch of dry leaves behind my house, and you can hear when they jump. And aside from that, no, they wouldn't stop. They wouldn't stop until I just decided to move. And a friend of mine went there and drove me. He flew to California, had to drive to come pick me up, then drive me to Vegas in a rental car. Because I just wanted to, he was thinking, why don't you just come to Oklahoma? But I have a cat, and I was thinking, it's like everything come down on you. I wasn't planning on moving. Like my whole life got turned upside down within those few months. They got turned upside down. They just got turned upside down within those few months. Like everything came at you bad. This one phone would ring, then another phone would ring, then another phone would ring, and it's like, and she is sitting outside the house, and the guy or some male in her house, because you can hear him through the window because he was like watching all the time too. And they didn't care. At some point, they stopped caring because she would sit there and she's talking and she's going, out sitting like just chilling under my window. She's just chilling under my window. She doesn't care, making me feel very, very, I began to get paranoid. I began to get paranoid. I don't know if one of them was wanted or is wanted. I don't know what's the story. I don't know. But my point is, it turned out to be, I saw the boyfriend when I moved to Vegas. There's a place called Charlie, Arizona. So I saw him, and he's just sitting there watching me across the thing, going like this. I'm like, so the boyfriend or somebody who looks like him. I don't know what was the purpose for that. I just like what do I do? I mean, okay, what was I supposed to do? He never approached me. I never met this man. I never spoke to him. What was I going to say to him? What are you doing here? Are you following me? Make a big scene to make myself look stupid? Because that's kind of like what they want. Well, look how irrational she is, and she's prejudiced. She's prejudiced against him. But in my opinion, if this guy has done something wrong, and they have done something wrong, I'm just one person. Usually, when people do things wrong, it's not just to one person. They're gonna do it to more people. So it doesn't really matter. Look at the mafiosi guy. You know what they got him on? Tax fraud. Tax fraud. They couldn't pin anything on him because he would always weasel his way out of it. They couldn't attach any because there was always some circumstance. Doesn't the lines did not cross, the ducks did not line up in a row. They got him on tax evasion. The thing is I'm not the only one. That's logic. They're not gonna do this to just one person. Because as far as I know, me, I am not a millionaire by any stretch of the word. Maybe the stamps they were worth a lot of money. And my father's, I don't know. It's a third world country. I never went back there since I left, so I never looked for anything. But me, this woman here, I am not a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire. If any money would be family money. What I built with my own hands is all I have. That's what I can claim. That's mine. They're trust fund children, other people's trust funds. They're other people's trust fund. They're trust fund babies with other people's trust funds. So my thing is, The coincidences are, and then I moved from there because I couldn't work. The same thing started happening. I went from having at least about 15 to 20 new clients per month to zero. And the last client I had was in July, the first week of the first no that like the by the 15th of June, everything stopped. In June I got two new clients, two new clients, two new clients, and everything stopped. From then, the first new client I got was when I started advertising on Facebook. Google doesn't work anymore for me. Not one single solitary. And Google was where I advertised all the time, and I was successful at it. I advertised all the time, and I was successful at it on Google. Very successful. In my own right, that is. What do I call successful? Paying my bills, being able to eat, being able to feel a sense of security. That's wealth for me. Not a mansion in the mountains or by the sea. I would like to live by the sea, but you know, not as yet. But my thing is, this is what makes me feel secure. So I have a ceiling too that I have to break. But my thing is, looking at that, and then I moved here to Oklahoma. I'm in Oklahoma now, and I had to move into a motel. So I'm not sure because there was no income coming in. I only started making money back since for last week only. I only started making money from my website again for last week and start doing rituals. Because prior to that I had like one client I think from June to last year to last week only one client, one new client, and that's really unusual for someone. I mean that would be like a really far leap. Now I moved here and I was with my friend in Arkansas. He was having a business dinner. I said, I'm just gonna get out. I'm just gonna wait in the car while they have the business dinner. And I'm pretty sure I saw the females drove in a car. She drove past me in the parking lot. I could be mistaken, but with these people, I'm not sure. I'm around here now. When this motel, they have the keys, like a credit card. You know, this is my first motel living, and you just because I didn't even I was like, where's the key? He said this is the key, right? I did not know that how this works. So put the key and now this is electronic. I did some research about hacking on YouTube, and if they can get a hold of your router, they basically you're screwed. You're screwed. And this is from the University of Iowa. It's reputable. You can do a research. University of Iowa and their cyber stalking or hacking, they have a course on it where they explain certain things to you. This is to keep people aware and keep them informed that things are happening out there. Be careful. Protect yourself. So with that in mind, it's like sorry, this is just a lot of drug use. I don't know. It's like it's just a lot of stuff going on around here. Uh, it's just a lot. And then I started to get like this allergies. Like I call it allergies, and the allergy pills do help. And what I was saying is like look at the coincidences. The fact that my wallet got stolen in 2001. I was worried about the green card. When my aunt is telling me now, I did not know this until about 3 weeks ago. That when they went there, the place was ransacked. They found absolutely nothing, and I know those stamps are worth money. The stamps are gone, and the voodoo doll in my room. Now, how would they even know where my room was? There were two rooms in an apartment. I don't know. And in 2008, when I found out later that was the year my father died, and left money for me because he left money for me. He left a home for me. There were shares in the bank. There are all kinds of things. And it's just I signed because I went remember going to the bank and signing with him because we bought the shares in both of our names because I was his only child and I lived we live at home. And then that's the year my father died. I didn't even know the man had died because I did not talk to him. I was estranged from him. He couldn't handle the fact that I was gay. Third world country. He can't handle that. So I grew estranged from him. So he died. My stepmother died, and they were not legally married either. They just did a Muslim ceremony. So she's nothing is hers really. Nothing is hers. Even if she was alive, her family has no claim to anything because they were never legally married, especially not something with my name on it. So the second thing is like all these coincidences, right? And I'm being hacked extensively. And there's something about like I don't know what they're. It's like my head. Maybe because I'm an empath and I'm actually a gentle person, and it's just I don't know what they're doing. I really don't know what the head part what they're doing. Because I can understand, okay, if you're stealing from someone, I would even go so far. For what's been happening to me here, I'll get back to the motel key, the door key at some point. But what's been happening here is it's no, she's continually talking, like I can hear her. I can hear her, and it's like she wants to be like she's telling me what to say, like I'm relating her story. She's not from the Caribbean. She's actually Mexican, full-blooded Mexican. She's not from the Caribbean. There's no Indian blood in her. She's full-blooded Mexican. Sorry, that's again. I'm sorry, but it's like and it's all these coincidences, and I feel like people are coming in my door, and I said so because every time I leave and I come back, there's roaches in my fridge. Now these roaches are not military trained, and they're waiting for me to leave them to go into my fridge. They can just go in, and I can this smell of something very very strong. It's like this would turn off and just turn on. Like if I say if I think it, like it just turns on. Like because it's almost like she wants to prove, like for me to either act crazy. Whoa! Like I have these superpowers that can turn on an air conditioner. No, you can listen. She listens. I mean, she's talking. Obviously, she's auditory as well, and hacking another way. And if you're controlling you're hacking in. This is an electronic device. It's digital. My guess is they can control that too, because that's what the man said. He said if the hackers get a hold of your router, you're screwed basically, because they can filter everything that you see. You see what they want you to see. You only see what they want you to see. So with the door now, it's electronic. They can probably get into any room anytime at all. They can probably get into any room anytime at all. I paused the video for a minute there because they were coming to clean my room. I was talking about the routers and how easy it is for a hacker to go into motel rooms. This is one of the things with these key locks. It's easy to get into them, so watch out for that. I don't know. This is when I first came here. I had to ask, "Where's the key?" Because I wasn't sure. I was looking for a key that you turn. That makes me feel safe. Of course, I've never been through anything like this before in my life either. This is my first time. So let's look again at the coincidences. It's one day I was coming in here And this young man, I see people around me, and I know I'm not paranoid. I know they're watching me. They're always watching me. Even my friend notices it. Last night he noticed it. That's sorry. I don't know what they're using, it but it catches in my throat. I don't know what it is. It's very strong. It's almost like a fume. Um, the, my friend noticed it last night. He noticed it because he had to. He doesn't act. He's very, very rational. He doesn't even believe that these things are actually happening to me, or he's in just complete denial about it. And another day, I was walking. I was in here, or I was just walking here, singing to myself because I sing a lot. So I was walking here, and I got here. Something told me to turn around. Maybe I heard a noise. I don't know. I turned around. A young man was standing right in my door, just like he was ready to come in here behind me. And I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he's turned up, and then he just walked off. Earlier that morning, I saw him in the corridor, and he was telling me that he's hungry. I don't know, he's hungry. It's almost like he was expecting me to give him something. Maybe to I don't know. Another time, I was in the jacuzzi out there, and he and another girl came. And in the jacuzzi, and I just sat down there. And I've been in there for like maybe a half an hour before. I used to like to soak in the water in the winter, and no, just in the, like in the fall because it was warm, so it was nice in the water. And he and another girl came in, and they had a phone, and he looked at her, and I don't know if he took a picture, but he looked at me, and he also took a picture. I thought he was looking for like but the way how he was doing it is almost like he took the picture, and then it turned on the song, the music, so it's kind of like that covered it up. But then she started saying something strange to me. She started talking to me. She says she's an ex-user. She's still using. Obviously, she was high that day. She's high, and she was saying she had these marks on her face, and she's saying this. She started talking because I just was listening mostly. She started saying that they were putting rat poison in some of whatever drug they were using. They were putting rat poison in it. Now, I don't know if this was this woman's way, if something is going on and they're forewarning me, they're telling me, they're trying to tell me indirectly what's happening. Like they're putting rat poison in something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Now, if this woman is following me and organizing these things and orchestrating it, I just want to know why is she doing this? Because if they went to my country, back into my country, and they stole those stamps. Now, the thing is, they were my grandmother's stamps. I was the only grandchild she had. Everything was mine. Everything was mine. I was living with my grandfather. I grew up. First day I came home was my grandmother. I slept on her pillow. I was close to my grandmother. I was the apple of her eye. Even her whole family would say that. Her siblings would say that. She lived for me basically. The point is, when I left there, everything was mine. I could have taken anything I wanted. Everything was always mine. Everything. And the thing is, if they stole the stamps, I'm just saying, okay, they left the voodoo doll. They thought it was a joke. They thought it was going to sidetrack me, whatever they did. But she mentioned, now it's a psychic connection because I'm auditory. She mentioned, I didn't even think about it. It was only like about 4 months ago she mentioned this. She mentioned the stamps. She described the purse that were in. But she also told me about the hair. And my grandmother even kept my umbilical cord. The lady had weird ways, to say the least. She even kept my umbilical cord, little black thing. I was like, oh, grossed out by it. It's like she built a shrine to me. And so, my point is, she either crawled my head and found that, but then where did the stamps go? Because I didn't bring them. I don't have to steal my own stuff. I would have just brought them with me if I'd remembered or I'd given them any thought at all when I left the country to come here. All I had to do was put them in my pocket. and then I would end up here. But my point is, they're mine. I don't I am not a trust fund baby type mentality. I prefer the achievement of doing something on my own and seeing how things go. That's what I like. To fail and succeed, I want to make it. They are looking for to relieve people of their own money. And if they have money out there with with their name on it, with a person's name on it, their job is to relieve them of it. They're thieves. They're nothing but thieves at the end of the day. But you have to go. Where do you go from being a thief to terrorizing one woman like this? I mean, obviously, if these people knew me all these years, they have known about me. What did she move into that yard for in 2017? Even if it was a coincidence, the moment she saw me, uh, she didn't have to come anymore. Let's say she lost contact with me, right? Why did she stay there? Or she should have just stayed there for a short length of time and leave. Because if you stole from somebody, you're not going to want to go around hanging around this person. You would want to stay away from them because your fear of law enforcement. If the proverbial S hits the fan, you don't want to be around this person. Prior to that, I never knew this woman existed. She could have gotten away with anything because I never knew she existed. They made themselves known to me. Well, she did. The landlord was the one who introduced her to me. My thing is, I don't know what's going on. And my cat, I've had her for 15 years. I went out one day with my friend. I came back, or I don't know if I went to the store or what, and I came back. The cat is extremely paranoid. She can't hold her bladder anymore. She can barely, she will not go in the litter box. She will not move. She's terrified. She's like, she's just terrified. I will make a video and put it of what she does. She's scared and she's hearing things like crazy. These people are drug users. What do you think that they might have given that cat? And why? According to her, that's to show me I can't get away from her. I can't escape her. This is what she does. And I hear it 24 hours a day, constantly, every single day. All the time I keep hearing it. And it's almost like she's mimicking me, so she wants to be like she's the one saying this. I don't know. She wants to be me this badly. I don't understand. I'm 49 years old. She's 35. She's full blown Hispanic. I'm not. I don't know how that can pass. I don't understand that. She's a Hispanic, full blown Hispanic woman. I am not Hispanic. I'm not of Hispanic descent. But my thing is, the fact that my aunt told me about this, this happened since when my grandfather died. Now, that's when they realized that all this stuff was gone. The place was ransacked, just in jumbles. That's when they realized that it could have happened before. Could have happened a year before. My wallet got stolen in 2001. In 2000, between 2001 and 2004, this happened. Or I would say 1999 when I left the country to 2004. It could happen anytime in between that space. It could have been happening anytime between that space. They're blaming it on, the gang, the usual guys just jumping houses, a third world country. They're blaming it. They must have gotten it. So that's them. And 2008 was when I went into this depression and I became almost suicidal. And that's when my father died. That's when my father left money as well. See, if she can crawl your head like this, she knows. And they also are hackers, so they know the assets that people have. They know the assets that people have. Another thing is, in 2013, I think it was, I was feeling, I got an accident. I was in a crosswalk and the person was coming this way and hit me on this side. And I was afraid like to cross the street. I had a little bit of phobia, right? because it kept like you could see this thing coming to you all the time because he wasn't stopping. He just came right through. And I went to a psychiatrist to get some psychologist, I should say, to just get some therapy to EMDR to just to get that phobia away. And we started talking and stuff like that. And I was well, of course, I am always talking to psychics because this is what I do. This is my passion, right? So I mentioned the psychiatrist to my sessions, and one of the things that they said, I noticed that the psychiatrist was talking to me, and then the psychiatrist kind of pulled back from me. So I was wondering, like, what happened? What happened here? This unusual behavior because I noticed things. And the psychic told me I was sitting there with my phone, and she was afraid I would record her. She wasn't sure if I was recording her. See, that's what I'm talking about. She wasn't sure if I was recording her. Why would I record her? I don't understand. Why would I record her? That's one of the things. um, I do readings for myself from psychics that I trust. I use them for my clients too, because I do tarot readings, but they actually can project out and pick up conversations more fluently than I do. I would hear things, but I'm not sure like what I'm hearing because I never realized how empathic I was too until how this whole thing happened and how auditory I am. And I would question, and they were telling me that they're recording you. The same thing. Why? And she would say, "Why are they recording you? They're recording you." Prior to that, I had an AT&T router. I was giving everybody internet in the yard because I sold on Amazon for over a year. I sold extensively on Amazon, so I had to have a router. My business is always online. So I was including her. I gave her password, and AT&T. My phone kept disconnecting, and my smart TV. So I called AT&T and said, "What's up with this? This has never happened before." They said, "Have you given your password to anyone in the area?" Because there's like 14 people, 12, 11 or 14. I can't remember the number exactly. Hooked onto it right now. There was only like two people in the yard. If I had three devices and they had two going, that's five. What happened to the rest? Where did they come from? Because they said, well, somebody else is leaking out your password. Because the first thing I thought of is that she might have given it. I was like, how far does this range go? I'm right in the yard, and it's hard for me to connect, you know. But basically what they and then they put it on a different channel. There's a 2.4 and a 5 channel. That's something I don't know what it is, but they changed the password. They did all that. That's when they told me to download the home manager thing to check and see. Because but they basically what they didn't use the word, but they were saying somebody jacked you up. If they don't have the password, then they jacked you up. I changed the password. So that's another thing with AT&T. So, like I don't know. And maybe because I didn't give it to her only, I gave it to everybody in the yard. Everybody had it, including the owner of the building. So my point is, it's like for all these things to happen, I just don't understand what this person wants. And my cat, I don't know. And this smell. And I keep hearing this clicking sound. It's clicking sound all the time. And sometimes you see like light flashes, and I don't know if that's my imagination, or because I look behind the fridge, I pulled out the bottom drawers, I look, and I'm not seeing anything anywhere. I don't know where this clicking is coming from. Is it the circuit breakers in the walls that are being affected? I don't know. Because whatever, if they're hacking, obviously, you know electricity is hooked up, is what's connecting all these devices, whatever they're using, including everybody's TV, everybody's air conditioner, everything in here. And I don't know what they did to my cat because prior to that, about a month, 2 months ago, to a month and a half, I came home after I went to dinner with my friend, and my cat was bleeding at the top of her head, just behind her ear. That's kind of hard for a cat to hurt herself right in that spot. her paw maybe, but to hurt herself there, there's nothing here. We've been here for since September of last year. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. The thing is, the good news that I have in my corner is if they are cyber stalking me and they know exactly where I'm going. Because even if they followed me to Vegas, they would have to know that I came from because I was out of California in Vegas, that I came to Oklahoma. They would have to know they're following me, like tracing me everywhere I go. I just don't know why. For a moment, I thought that they were what they call live streaming, illegal live streaming you. But I don't think so because I don't think there are monsters out there that can compare to these people. These are special kinds of monsters, in my opinion. I hate doing this, but from my experience, only from what my experience is with this individual and what she's orchestrating here, these people are almost the monster status. They're human monsters. For the hacking itself, proof I have of the hacking in my Google Ads account. I've had it for since 2014. I set up a Google Ads account. I never had a problem with it. I never ever made a video campaign until about 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago or last week. I don't know. And somebody hacked in. They ran up two video campaigns, YouTube video campaigns. Actually said YouTube, and ran up on 19,500 and something dollars. Google, I have the proof. The Google agreed, they ascertained that it was hacked. That's one proof I have. Now I heard that over $10,000 the FBI should get involved if there is any type of cyber crime. In Vegas, I went to the police department. I left my phone at home. My friend had to call Uber to get me there and to get me back. Because I'm going without these devices because I don't want to get blamed if they're hacking into all these places. I don't want to get blamed. I had zero electronic devices on me at the time. So I put a letter there. They never contacted me. Came here. I sent two letters into the FBI here. I went to the FBI office in Oklahoma, got the form, filled it out by hand, put everything down, mailed it in twice because you can't speak to someone face to face. Every time I called several times. They're first thing there's, how do you know you're being hacked? Can you please just sit down with me and let me show you something? Nobody has time to do that anymore. To help a person like me, as much as I respect law enforcement and I'm pro law enforcement, they're really failing me here. They're failing me badly. I mean, I'm just one woman, but I have stuff happening to me, and there's many people out there that people are doing this to. There's many people out there that are doing it too. I cannot be the only one, and there's not this group of people only. There's other people out there. And I went to this ice.gov cyber stalking. I filled that out as well. Nobody got back to me, not even a phone call. I'm now a permanent resident since 2003, and my green card is expired because it actually this whole thing started, and when I got very depressed, I didn't have any money to renew it. And that's another thing too, because if these people are into green card racketeering, because they you know that's a possibility that they're producing green card and selling it. um, I don't know, because I don't know if because that stolen wallet was what triggered all of this in my life. I don't know. I just don't know, because in the US, I'm not a stellar citizen, but I'm not a bad citizen either. I don't have any, not even a parking ticket. No arrests of any kind, no nothing. Never been in jail. Nothing at all. Just a normal, boring life. And So I don't know what this is about. But my thing is, I did my due diligence. I sent everything in. I sent everything in. So that's not the issue. I sent everything and I've been calling. They should have recorded. I called at least about 7 times within the past 7 months. But every time I call, it's a no-go. They're not listening. They're only telling me go to ice.gov and cyberstalk, cybercrime, cybercrimes. I did it. Nobody's getting back to me even to find out what's going on. Unless the people are redirecting my calls. I don't know. There's a possibility that the hackers are redirecting these calls. Even the landline, I know for sure that it was hacked. Because when I first came here, I was using the landline because one of the things, when I came off the plane in Oklahoma City, my friend drove me from the airport to this lake and made me take both of my phones. Boom. And I had zero electronic devices when I moved into this place until like about a month later. And he insisted that I bring this laptop because I need to work. He insisted that I bring it. I was just buying the phones, and as soon as I see that they're hacked, I get so mad and I just throw it against the wall and break it. And I think that that was added pleasure for them, that they have that kind of negative effect. See, they're not looking that they're making the person's life miserable. It's just so she knows she can cause that to happen. But it's not just a psychic connection here. It's not just a Santeria or a voodoo or whatever they're doing. Or this real strong psychic connection or ability she has. In addition to get shit done, excuse my language, they have to like literally. I don't know if they're putting drugs. I don't know what they're doing. If it's drugs they're putting or what they're doing, or if it's I don't know what it is. Maybe something, but I know for sure that they gave something to my cat. That's for sure. My cat was never, ever, ever, ever like this. Ever. I've had her for 15 years. Never. Never. It was the first time, and I've never seen her this sick. Usually, when she's a little bit under the weather, she's for like 3 days, she will sleep mostly, and then she's up and she's ready to go. This time it's different. She's terrified. She will not use the litter box. Washed it, fresh litter, nothing. She doesn't. She's terrified. She's terrified, and I don't know who would be so cruel as to do that to a cat, and who would think that it's funny. How are they monetizing this? These are all the questions I have. I need answers. I don't understand this. Somebody please help me. Because in my opinion, I would even go so far as to say, look, if you stole the stamps, okay. This just happened since in the single digits, like before 2004, when my grandfather died, before he died. My father's property, which is in my name, I don't know if that's what they want. Okay, I would even go so far. I hate to say this. Bring a paper, bring a piece of paper, and I'll sign it over to you. But I got to do it legally because I don't want you to ever bother me again. Basically, for me, this is ransomware. This is basic like holding me hostage and showing me, well, this you can't get away from her or whatever she's doing or whoever she's involved with. They've got this power over you unless she's using me like bait because I don't know. See, I don't know the woman. I don't know what the situation is. And I can take a polygraph today. I have no idea what's going on. All I know is it's just she is not life. She's just coming at me, bam, 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 and I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I don't know. Because even though my friend is most of the time he's in disbelief, he sees weird things too. He sees it because he saw them. They were trying to intimidate him yesterday. They were like this is why he was watching them when he started to. This is Oklahoma, so he took out his gun and he started cleaning it, and then they just backed off because he noticed it. He's an ex-army guy. He noticed like they were trying to like intimidate him. I don't know who these people are. I don't know how this woman got involved with these people or what she plans here, or if they started this and now it's gotten out of hands for them. So they're bringing it to me to push me to do something to stop it. But I don't even know what it is. I don't know what it is. So anybody who sees this, please, if you can help me, please help me. Give me answers. All I'm asking for is some direction, something to do. Somebody who's been through this, somebody who may be going through this. Let's pool our efforts here. Let's try to come up with a plan. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Because the psychic attacks are not coming from a demon, or not coming from an angel, or even a low level demon. It's coming from a human being. It's a woman who's projecting her energy out. How do you combat that? If she is projecting her energy out, an exorcism is not going to help. She's a living person. She'll just come back again. An exorcism is not. This is you. How are you going to exorcise a living person? That's not going to happen. So in any case, if somebody watches this video and they have any ideas, or if they know somebody who've been through this, or if they have been through this themselves, please reach out to me and tell me what to do, because I don't know what to do. I've set a vet appointment for my cat in the morning. I don't know what they're gonna tell me. That's gonna make me very angry, because that's not right. If you do a lot of things, why do you have to harm my cat? I mean, for COVID, there's many things that my mind could come up with. I'm not sure, because I don't do these things. I don't know this. The COVID last year, a lot of things were not. Nobody was talking on the phone anymore. Everybody was just working through email and the literal letter writing. Back resorting to that literal letter writing. And what if I don't know. What if they have all access to all my information? Let's get the fact. The hacker, they got an access to every information. They had access to my information since in 2001 when I lost my wallet. So they lack is not for a lack of information. They have access to all of it. And the fact that they, after they stole the stamps, she crawled my head. She says, you know what, these might be valuable. They went and they stole them. Okay, they got them. Why did this continue? Why is it happening now? Why this one woman? I've been here since 1999. It's what, 22 years? It's a long time. Why is this still happening? Why is this still happening? I don't understand. I don't get any. I don't have any. Okay, you stole the stamps. You want my father's property, or you want me to sign it over to you. But okay, I don't understand this. If I'm dead, how are you going to get it? How are you going to get it? She's not related to me. Not legally, and no, she's not related to me. I don't even really know her. I don't know. I know if you're going to ask me anything about her, I don't know anything about her. And one of the things that I know something that she's involved in this, and it's something that with her. She has a couple of sisters, and I never spoke to any of them. And I was in a store like 2 days before I left. Was actually buying some stuff for the trip, because we drove like 9 hours from California to Vegas. I needed some snacks, and her sister came in the store with two younger people, and they were talking about me. They were speaking in Spanish, and I don't understand Spanish. And they were looking at me like they pointedly wanted me to know that they were talking about me. The people who were standing behind me in the line, they even turned around and looked at her and looked at me. That's not my imagination. That actually happened. I didn't even know. Why would she do that? I don't understand any of this shit. I mean, excuse my language. I'm just getting upset. I don't understand any of this. What are they doing? What do they want? I don't know. I don't have anything to hide. I'm not a child murderer. I'm not a pedophile. I'm not an ex-murderer. I'm not in any kind of scam. Every dime that I have, I can give accountability of where I got it legally. They had me checking my bank all the time just to make sure that they weren't like using my account like a money laundry. I don't know. You see, I'm trying to figure out what it was. What is this? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I'm sorry I'm getting upset. If somebody can help me, please. I know this is a long video, but please help. And not, I don't. It's not money. I want ideas on how to stop this. Please, thank you. And get a hold of me. My website is fastworkinglovespells.com. I will put it in the description, and I will put my actual email in the description. Yesterday, somebody called me. I forgot to mention. Called me and claiming to be from immigration. I don't know if this guy was real or not. And asking me, you wanted to speak to immigration. I said, yes, but this was months ago. He said there was something, something attached to my name that I needed to speak to someone. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I was trying to call because I wanted to make sure my green card was fine. They're telling me I need to contact Vermont, which I did twice. The Vermont office, the immigration office, I sent 2 letters. I got no response. So I don't know what's up with that either. These people are just not getting back to me, which is making me wonder the worst. Are they hacking into these places? I don't know. Because when you have a bunch of people who are not sophisticated, they're not sophisticated, they don't know when to stop, and they're high on drugs all the time, they're gonna go what is called hog wild. They don't have that, they're not, they're not like trying to build anything. They're trying to just grab as much as they can get. They're not trying to do anything. They just trying to grab as much as they can get. They go all over the place hog wild. No class, no nothing, and they don't care who they hurt in the process. They don't care who they hurt in the process, and apparently they're trying to make me the fall guy, but they can't. They can't. And I'm challenging this whoever, if she is listening to this, I will challenge her right now, face to face. Come face me. Let's go to the police. Let's go to law enforcement. Let's get this baby done. If you've been recording me for a long time, you have a lot of intel. Let's just gather it up, take it to the FBI, have them call me in. Let's just do this. I'm ready. At least I'll know what's going on. I don't know. When I first moved there, I went on my knees and I begged this woman, please, 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 just leave me alone. Money was almost gone because there's no money coming in. They cut off my income completely. Even this phone was tapped when I came in here because I could hear it. At first, I could able to dial out the first day I came here, and I had to use it because, like I said, no cell phones, no nothing. I came here with nothing, and then I couldn't use the phone anymore. I called them. They said there's nothing wrong with it, and you would just you're hearing like it's like nobody's on the phone, nobody's touching the phone, but you hear a sound, like you hear a click, click, sound. I don't know. It's a click. I don't know. You just hear a sound. And oh, I was in Vegas. I would use the library computer. My friend Ubered me over just to go to the library because I was telling him I was getting paranoid. So I went there. My own laptop. I put it under running water. I put it under running water because I was just disgusted with this thing. I thought this would just like they would just have some mercy, or they would just be like, oh, enough of her. She's not funny anymore. Just leave her alone at that point, right? That's how it worked. That they would just back off from what they were doing and leave me alone. That didn't work. That was more fun for them, it seems. And one thing that they did here with this phone, because that was the only phone I had, was they took away my ability to dial 911. Because if they're tapping people's phones, this is really bad. They have You have to have authorization. Any government agency will have to give you, a judge will have to sign off to tap people's phones. A judge will have to sign off, and it's only for periods of like 7 days. It doesn't go for months and months and months. You don't do that unless you're investigating somebody. I'm one person. If they're investigating me, let's just say, okay, I inadvertently walked into something like enemy of the state. Somebody put something in his coat pocket and they started chasing him, right? Let's just say, or even if they thought, well, the law enforcement is investigating me, nobody is talking to me. Nobody is saying anything. The only is these bad guys attacking me. Where is the law enforcement? Take me in for questioning. Here I am. I'm not hiding. I'm not hiding. Take me in for questioning. This is not law enforcement. They are not from law enforcement. No question, no nothing. She's just crawling my head and telling me the most gross things. Almost like she wants to corrupt my thinking. I don't know. And I'm not going to repeat them, but if this goes to court, I will let them. I'm willing to take a polygraph anytime now if they come. I don't care. Let them regress me. I don't care. I'm ready to take my knocks. Is she? I don't know. For all this that she's doing, I don't know. It's not funny. You're killing me and killing an innocent cat for what? For what? How low can you go? What is wrong with you? I don't know. I don't know. But if anybody can help me, please help me.